open up printf's map, because it is actually really cool. Yeah, here's what we're gonna fix that. So that is powerful thing. And honestly, at this point, basically just do that. I get the train. Because the idea that it's going to be something like where before printf's map, see some banelings like here. They would all split up their own ways. But that's not how a Zerg player micros. Kind of be more some sort of like splitting. It says these guys are a chunk. You like target down the center. This guy has his own thing. You deal with that later. It's how there's some point where this guy is in this group clearly. This here clearly not in the same group. You're gonna have to solve that. Probably more like some sort of like grouping algorithm, I guess. Call it. If we take it all here, start with just this pile of Marines. You want to pick one of these dudes. Try to find Marines within some radius of them. Say if he was here and this was in the radius, then we'd add this guy to I'm gonna have to think of how pointers work or something. If you copy a unit group, does that line up? And what is that? To be grouped. Something like that. Copies the Marines. Just like, probably not that. Makes them sort of like wild. there's anyone in to be grouped, I want to like come on, what am I pretending? This is not a generic one. Not a generic one. Method is what you call it. Random unit from unit group. Sounds pretty reasonable. And so, pick this dude, then we'd be like some sort of, call it 4 for now, I have no idea what that number will be. Remember my hotkeys as well. I suppose. It's probably and it is not the correct approach. Within point, there's some sort of like within point. Units near point. Within radius. Because that's where we sort of that business. Where player? Makes no sense. It's probably not even that sensical. Like the player matches the filter? That makes no sense. So then, say if this guy got picked, it would put... Well, I guess it would also put this guy in the group. Which I guess is probably important to know. Now this is not easy. Now I think about it. I don't have to store anything. That if these guys got grouped, and then eventually all of these dudes have no one within, then these guys will get basically removed from selection. And if this guy wasn't close enough to get this guy, then it definitely wouldn't go the other way. Very nice phrasing. This guy has the same search radius as this guy. So if this guy isn't matched by this guy, then this guy isn't matched by this guy. So we won't have to do any sort of storing. It'd be like some unit group array something. That's why I probably should make this function sooner rather than later. Everything gets linked nice and well. But yeah, it's gonna have to be some sort of recursive business, I would imagine. Because it's the same function that was run on this dude can be run on these dudes as well. It's just like the union of the unit groups. It's more so that this function is gonna be... Nope, that's not even... What is it? And this is why I probably should be doing this. If I was a real gamer, I would do this in not the trigger editor. Probably no reason not to make that a global either. Units within grouping. Probably the correct split is that there's a function that we call in a unit group, and it just spits out a grouping. So then you remove it, and so now it calls the function again, but with these units. This guy then makes his own group, gets taken out. Now the unit group. That sounds about right. And you can return a unit group. So it's, I guess that does make sense. There's no need for it to do the looping itself. Units within grouping. Set that to be Find marines in the same group. I guess that doesn't really make sense. Find marines within. Find marines near. Let's try. Find marines near. Find marines. I guess it doesn't. Okay, that takes effect. Near picked marine. Well, I guess it really does. Okay, before I get to make the other functions, should be like find groups or some such. Okay. I guess that's what it's whining about. Unit group. Find group. Don't tell me it's been like. Oh, that's just wonderful. It's like some sort of like weird. I just remember what that actually is. No. That was a grave mistake then. To copy paste across. Grouping radius. Position of. Wait, what? Oh, it is all busted. Oh no. It was a disaster. Okay, well that's reasonable. So find groups would take a unit group. I guess some sort of like array. A unit group? I think I've ever done this sort of stuff in the editor. Well, I guess it's going to be a unit group array. Okay, well, that just is not even close to correct. That's where it should be a recursive function. It's the only thing that makes sense. Find groups is a recursive function. I mean, someone's got to deal with the nastiness of arrays existing. No. Find group is surely good enough. So find group is just concerned with it. So it picks a random marine. Well, maybe I shouldn't be picking a marine. I should be saying that Pick marine, yeah. Find marines near pick marine. So then find these dudes, including itself. And then it calls that function again. So like the terminating condition is when it only finds units that have already, because otherwise it's just going to dance back and forth forever. So it's going to have to know who's already been found. So in a single iteration, it's gonna start at this guy, it's gonna say no one else has been found. Then it's going to find these people within, and it's going to it's gonna add all units in units within grouping to already in group. I guess parameters are, oh, because I guess parameters are mutable? Well, that's not the correct way. Are theoretically immutable, so we take that, set it equal. I don't know, does it make a copy? Just by the virtue of that? Or is it just doesn't make sense? Add all units and units within grouping to already in group. So now, done like that. I guess it's new unit should be a unit group. I guess the one stop disjoint, I guess. I don't think it has. Well, that's probably move all units in already in group from units within grouping. And these variable names are a disaster. Need to fix that. So now, well, I guess, yeah, something like that. This guy would pick these dudes, add it to the unit group, add to already in group, and then call it on these three. This guy would find this guy, but they're both already in the unit group, so that'd be an empty one. This guy would find this dude. So then this dude some sort of, I can never get these hotkeys right. Like pick each unit group, which I've heard is not a very fast function, so maybe at some point I should change that. To pick each unit in new group. I'm gonna do some sort of call to find group. That's where some mutability. This mutability is messing with my head. Maybe it is already immutable. In new units. So new units. Wait, what? Oh, that's that. That is mutability. That's not good. They're like an immutable subtraction. Subtract. That'd be units. What would this even be? Units in source, not in target. Inspired names. That's and it's all something like units in A, not in B. This can probably be done inline. Return. But that's an action, it's not a function. Copy. So that's where we return copy. Copy of unit group. So it's all units in A. So we're subtracting B from A. So it's copy of A. Move unit group from unit group. Move all units in B from copy. And we return copy. So we say set new units to be subtract B units in units within grouping, not in already in group. Well, that reads beautifully. I guess you can do that. Pick each unit in new units and do some sort of find group. Which again, if I remind myself what find group does. So at some point the big function calls it on some random dude, and then eventually gets back with this unit group. So when this guy calls it, so the difference is that this call will put these dudes in the already found. So some sort of add units. Add unit group to unit group. And that's not very good. Add unit group to unit group. add all units in function find group. I should probably fix the grammar text. Find group of target. What is this drop down? This drop down makes no sense. Find units. Okay, what I should do, it's probably easier, is to just do some of that. Find group around. Oh, it's all disastrous. Within not already in group. This makes no sense. Find units and be grouped. No, this sentence could probably be a little better. No, that makes no sense. Stupid drawer. No, that really does not make sense. So it would call these three. Yeah. So it'd start with this guy. This guy finds these three. Says these guys are already in the group. Okay, as this guy finds these guys, says they're already in the group. This, surely there's some smart words people have come up. I guess thread, some sort of smart word people come up with in recursion. But these guys are already in the group, and then so this guy finds these dudes. They're already in the group, so his thread dies. Thread is such an awful word for that. This guy finds these people. These are already in the group. This guy then gets called, finds no one, and then all the threads have come back, and we end up with this group. So it's some sort of, what are we even returning? So we're returning already in group, I guess? This is where you probably should be a little more careful about being super immutable. And probably just, I guess, wasteful. Especially if this is going to be run on a tight loop, I guess. Having already found. So find all units in, we just pass on to be grouped. Having already found, already in group, I guess? Units within grouping, already in group. To already in group, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Having already found already in group to already in group, find units in to be grouped within. Okay, it should be near function picked unit. suppose that reads pretty well. Text. Set units within grouping to find marines near pick marine. So that function would return this unit group. And then it says unit group, add all units in units within grouping to already in group. Okay. So already in group before it was just this guy. And then it's now this guy. Variable set new units. To units within grouping not already. So already in group does not change. Yeah, okay, so then, oh, but that's where it better be mutable. Oh, for sure it's mutable. Unit group, that is. Okay, so these are the new units. Okay, so we go for each new unit and we pick one. So start this guy, already in group. Oh, well, both of these are already in group. Thread dies, then goes to this guy, finds these. These guys are already in group. These threads die. This guy then calls, finds these guys are already in group, finds this guy calls, these are already in group, and then he just himself. I mean, it seems like it's almost good as is. Because that's where, let's see. That's, if I saw something like that, I'd say they're probably in the same group. Which is a good enough default for now. And it's 4 point. Yeah. Found the magic number. Yeah. That's a decent default for now. To find groups. For now, we're just gonna say change color, I guess. Surely that's a thing in unit. Set color. Set unit color. This is already getting a bit much. Set picked unit. We're just gonna I guess if we were doing this correctly, it would be a pure function, so there's no reason you'd call it. That's actually kind of a neat division. Find group. Find units. All marines. We just marine units in entire map owned by a player. User. Pick each unit. Find units in all marines near Jimmy. Having already found convert unit to unit group of Jimmy. God, change it to yellow. No, I imagine it's gotta return. It's gotta return. Yeah, it's this one. I'll get around to it, don't worry. Preset? No unit group? Wrong number of parameters. To be grouped? Be grouped. Ah. To be grouped is a copy of parameter to be grouped. Save. Why am I copying that? Like, it's not mutating, is it? To be grouped. I don't think it's mutating. So I think I'm just being a donkey. Nah, I can change that later. Investors have been coming soon for like 5 years at this point. Nope. Well, it didn't crash, so it's better than I was hoping for. I mean, it could honestly just be. Grouping radius. Like, if I change it to 2, it should be pretty stingy. Oh my. First try, baby. Now that's something neat. Well, what a pleasant surprise. Not only did it not crash, didn't even unit group. I guess that's where I wouldn't be returning a unit group. Okay, well maybe this is as far as doing things in functions is gonna go. It probably is. I guess that just leaves... Oh! Oh no. I did actually need it. A fool I am. I deleted everything. All the triggers, that is. That was very smart. I think it Control Z is back that far. And if it does it allow you to copy across like history? Oh. Here I go. No! Just a little bit off. That's as far back as it will take it. Oh, that's so sad. I'm too afraid to do it any other way. That is actually a very nice sound. Alright then. That's a bit sad. I'm an idiot. Well. It's gonna make things a little trickier at least. I think I can just do a little something like that. Alright. Spawn and assign units. Temp_M. I guess it's Marines. At least that doesn't kind of make sense. Oh. Well, I guess that's not... That's pretty simple, I guess. This is where you make actions. And you know what? That is actually a pretty sick distinction. It'd be cool if like TypeScript had something like that. Between functions and actions. Not like from ground up. Well, I guess okay, not from ground up. Never mind. I'm saying stupid things. Oh. And there's... Oh, goodness. What is this drop down? That, like, is a button, but not really? Well, actually, it is just a button. I guess that's where you have a function for links around. Get an integer. Oh, I didn't add any parameters. Round number. Links for round number. Return function arithmetic integer round number times 3. Equals 1? Jump to level. Should probably. Ah. Arithmetic multiple. So weird. Oh, okay, never mind. Now I understand. I guess that's also arithmetic. This is exciting. I mean, I'm assuming this is floor division. Otherwise, I'd be very sad. Parameter round number. Wait, are they both divide by 2? I guess for more flexibility. Just feel dumb to add 2 things that are both being divided by 2. some sort of like spawn and assign units. Surely there's a better way to do it than that. I guess it's the flags that you'd say I'm carrying out. Try to be all nice and fancy. Create, okay, I guess for create 16 marine at point. Turn type unit group. At unit group. This is like some sort of like repeat. Oh, and that is not it. Repeat. Repeat. Well, before I do all of that, surely there's like create units at unit at point. Yeah, create units facing point. But why are they as functions? I guess that's what this is gonna be nice for. I guess it's the weird behavior. Not being able to. Yeah. Return last created units. Create. Oh, I also have to include the player. Yep, I don't think this is. This makes things all that much easier. But I guess that it returns immediately is kind of nice. Facing. This might be a bit stupid. This is the saddest function ever. It's not a function. Type. Oh, that's very. All units in. I guess that's what it's about. Is to be kind of like pure. Maybe a little less ideological. I'm an idiot. Turn. This is return type none. Probably do that. Turn. I guess if I was really. And this is why you don't do these sort of things. As in making a create a point function. Because what if I want to interlace these? Because definitely I should at least make the paintings first, so they're. Facing no point. Oh, did I never even update the text? Facing. 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 Marine spawn. So it creates. I guess that's where I make an action. I still procrastinating making controllers. Because at some point, I want to be able to. Like, that'd be neat. Kind of like a gold player and a diamond player, where the gold player just moves links and bangs. Oh, and that's where I should have them be separate. Oh no. It's all. This abstraction heavy. Abstraction happy, that's what you'd call it. Abstraction happy. Design is all fallen to pieces. I guess that's more so where the controller should really only have, should just be dumped the unit group. It's just easier to pass it around, and then it can pluck out all the banelings and then move commandos, and that is even more similar to how an actual Zerg player would micro. Yeah, maybe. Create round variant. Oh, I thought I misspelled it. Number. Round number. Integer. Then who has final say over? This is where the lack of having async stuff is going to be tricky. Can you store a trigger? Maybe that's where it's another abstraction happy approach to have multiple controllers, with arbitrary support. At some point, it doesn't really make sense. Never actually made conditions. That could probably be something neat to do. Because the theory goes is to make it where I don't have global stuff. Because global stuff has a tendency to do nasty things. So it creates the Marines, then it creates the Wings and Banes, and then the user goes and splits, and every so often, I don't know, what's the clock rate of a Zerg brain? Probably about every 2 seconds it comes in and changes all the commands of the units. And then once all the Marines are dead, it has to have some way of killing the Zerg brain. I guess this is where you can have dynamic triggers, from what I understand, if you do serious business and use the actual script editor. Well, I guess I could also, it doesn't have to be a trigger, it could just be a function. And then the round keeps calling it. And then as long as there's still Marines, create round, and it does a, how do you add a comment? Is it Control K? New comment, Control slash. It goes and spawn all the units. I guess I probably should put an enter. And then it just does a while. A do while. Wait for condition. Ah. Well, that seems like race conditions. Well, I guess probably the smart way to do it be to every time the last Marine dies is you update the round ID or something. And that way, because I had this in another map where, like, because it was doing something periodically, but if you started a round and stopped a round between the condition would get missed. And something like that. How do records work? This seems like what records would be good for. New record. Think inputs. Like some unit group. It's like their groups. Be unit group array. I can't even. Well, I'll have to remember. I don't know what the actual C standard is for saying the actual length of an array. I guess argc, argv or something. I guess it's like their group C or something, I don't know. It'd be parameters, inputs, record. Because I was so happy for you. And then it's, well, I mean for now it can be. Oh, you can do async stuff. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Well, I guess that's where. Yeah, that's probably where. Zerg units, Marines, unit group, unit group. And there's just like a while true, I guess a repeat. Repeat forever. Repeat forever. If, then else if. Number of units Zerg units equals 0. I guess the order definitely does matter. And you definitely do win. It's gonna be like a return boolean. But I guess it probably makes more sense to have this as an enumerated state. Return true. Return false. Does it have to be synchronous? That would make me sad. But I had to do a synchronous return. Does that make it happy? Alright, well, whatever makes him happy, I guess. Guess that's an else. And that's like a wait or something. I suppose that compiles. Return variable points array at pick integer random integer between 0 and length array size. Surely there's a way to get Is there really no way to get the length of an array? Well, I guess. Good to know. Spawn point equals pick spawning point. Here it is. Copy that. Get that in here. Q scanner sweep at spawn point from user. Set variable marines. Yeah, I guess Blizzard does kind of know what they're doing. Last created units is a very roundabout way to fix not being able to move expressions around. I mean, there's no reason for them not to be facing the correct direction. It took too long. It hurt because I was so happy for you. And someday to make a beautiful life. We're out of it and releasing into. Think of all the things we do for the people who are. Zero units. Function. Spawn. Wings and bangs. Is that not a... Should probably fix that. I guess it's not really a function, but I suppose it is. Yeah, okay. No. There's science do. There it makes me glad I'm not here. Research to be done for the people who want. Links for round number. Bangs for round number. I guess this is a bit much on the... If I were to do this again, probably not include these functions. Okay, so it spawns the units. Yeah. Control Q, what is it? preset record. Think league. Round number, think league. Oh, that's so sad. Like copy it over, index by index. I can't just give it the array. Man, arrays suck. Okay, well, that's a be sad. Wait, how does any of this work then? Because I can't store a slice of the array. Oh, this is an issue. This is a great big issue. I guess that is where you do global variables. Well, that's no fun. I guess I'll have to make a concession on all this pure code. It'll be all dirty. Functions. And what even is the word? Groups, yes. As an array. As a unit group. Array. Value 30. Is it? It's a constant. Then does it allow? Oh, well, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, I suppose that's reasonable enough. Oh, this is an underwhelming record then. But I am not copying 30 things over an array. Just for like principle's sake. And I guess that's where you do. Find groups. Now this is all sorts of sad. It's not gonna have a return type. The answer is so we have a still needing to be grouped. That's some sort of participle. You could express that in like one word or something. Change that to copy. Where's copy? Copy of unit group. Well, this is not a unit group. Okay. And this can just be a while I equals 0, while number of units in unit group number of units and still needing to be grouped is greater than or equal to 1. I guess probably. Picked unit. I like how this one doesn't say Marines everywhere, but the other one says Marines everywhere. That really is quite some beautiful code. So that is also a set variable. Picked unit. It should not be an integer. Unit. Set picked unit to random unit from unit group. Random living unit from still needing to be grouped. Group equals unit group. Set variable group equals find group, find units in, this is where an optional parameter would be sick. Maybe that is a thing that exists as an optional based off of another parameter. Find units in, well, I guess still needing to be grouped is fine. Actually, could be a, so these are all the within picked unit. Find units and still needing to be grouped within picked unit, not convert unit group to picked unit. Okay. Remove unit group from unit group. Move all units in group from still needing to be grouped. Set variable groups at I to group. Set variable. Well, I guess isn't there like a modify variable? Wow, how much time that saved me. Modify I plus 1, and we can set variable. I guess maybe this is where I should have just done that straight out of n groups equals I. Okay, so if it finds nothing, then there are 0 groups. Like if all of these units are dead, then I starts at 0 and remains at 0, and groups is 0, so I don't think this is wrong. And theoretically that just works. Yeah, remove all. Okay. Create round. Find groups. Oh, how sad it is that, like, how would you ever imagine there's a connection between find groups and Marines, that this like has some random effect that think league with inputs depends on? What a sad little setup. Create round. Oh, I'm bad at this. Create round. League. I'm gonna call it Gold League. It's gonna be round 1. Like we were free, push the battle down, watch the world around, bye bye. Oh, and that is a lot of errors. Could not get P2 from parameter angle between points. Oh, I think that's all the other code that also exists. Sure, none of these guys are messing me up. Let me say, or another love, triple. Could not get P1 from parameter angle between points. Why am I clearing the messages? Well, that sounds like a big problem. Because that's where add stim, add combat shields, add bane speed, add zergling speed, kind of off of. Oh. Looks like this isn't gonna be one sitting after all. Okay. Big sad.